Hey guys, so a year ago I chose this, the Walther PPQ, as my very first pistol on my then brand new FAC here in the UK. But the question is, 12 months and 2,000 rounds later, would I do it again? Hi guys, so if you're looking to buy a 2.2 long barrel pistol here in the UK, then there's a fairly big price range and a few pistols to choose from. At one end there's maybe the model 1911 for around £450, and at the top end you could be spending more like £1,500 on something like a CZ Shadow. The PPQ on the other hand sits somewhere near the middle of this range, and I paid around about £800 at the time, I think for mine. So one of the things that's in the favour of the Walther is the fact it's actually made by Walther, so it's not made by someone under licence. So essentially what you're getting is a 2.2 LR version of the 9mm pistol, which is great in terms of authenticity, etc. Now, if you're not watching this video in the UK, or perhaps if you are, it's probably worth quickly explaining what this and this is all about. So here in the UK, for a pistol to qualify under Section 1 of the Firearms Act, it needs to be at least 60 centimetres or 24 inches long overall, and have a 12-inch or 30 centimetre barrel. This PPQ is 26 inches long overall. Now, the obvious question here is, does this affect the feel or the handling of the gun? And I'm pleased to say that in my experience, it doesn't. In fact, when I'm shooting it, I can't see the extended barrel, and the tang, being slim and also black, is invisible, and it doesn't contact my arm either when shooting either single or in a double-handed grip. The balance is also superb. Now, I should caveat this by pointing out that I have chosen to have the carbon fibre shroud fitted, and this does obviously help. I've weighed the standard shroud, and that comes in at a whopping 130 grams just for the shroud, as opposed to the carbon fibre shroud, which you can see here, which is a comparative featherweight, coming in at just 27 grams. Of course, you've also got to bear in mind that the barrel itself, which comes at the end of the shroud, is hanging 7 inches out the front of the end of the gun, and that in itself, just the barrel, weighs 70 grams. But that said, I really like the balance of this gun. It feels really nice and natural to shoot. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It will really help us grow the channel. You've also got these moulded embossed grips, which feel really comfortable and give a good level of grip in bare hands. My hands are probably a large, and as you can probably see, maybe, they don't sort of really come down below the end of the magazine there. The magazines themselves are pressed metal, which also adds a tad of weight. And I must say that before buying this pistol, I had read and watched several reviews that said that the magazines were a bit lightweight. But to be honest, I've personally not had any problems with them. They functioned absolutely perfectly. My gun came supplied with 2 of these, and in .22 LR, they each carry 12 rounds. And I think I also got a hard case to store everything in as well for that. Lastly, there's no safety catch as such on the PPQ, with them relying on a Glock style trigger safety mechanism, and there's also an ambidextrous slide release there as well. In terms of sights, the PPQ comes with a fibre optic front sight, and it has a rear sight that's adjustable for windage and elevation. Now, you notice of course that I'm running mine with a red dot, and there's a little bit of a story there. So when I first got this gun, and in fact to this day, I'm mainly using it for sort of paper punching about 20 metres down at my local target club. However, when I first started shooting it, I was obviously doing so with the original open sights, and try as I may, I could not get the elevation required to be hitting the black at 20 metres. After several failed attempts and having nearly lost my rag, speaking to club mates for advice and nothing seemed to work, I finally contacted my RFD that I bought this from, and he told me that Walther actually build the barrel with a slight bend in it, which should be an upward curve, but he actually suggested that I maybe roll it on a flat surface to check and see that my bend hadn't somehow been put in the other way. Now, I never actually did this, firstly because it kind of blew my mind, and secondly because, as I say, I was always planning on running the red dot on the back anyway, but nonetheless it might be something that you want to sort of bear in mind if you're going to be shooting this pistol at any sort of distance. I'm running a Vortex Venom red dot sight on this pistol, and there's a bit of a story to that as well, because Walther don't actually seem to make the PPQ. They don't have the slide machined as it comes out of the factory to run a red dot sight, which frankly I was a bit incredulous about in this day and age, because most people are going to stick a red dot on top of their pistol. But in any case, so your choices are, you basically need to have the slide machined yourself, ouch, or fit an adapter plate. And fortunately for me, just as my patience with this pistol was running out, I spoke to my RFD again, and he told me about this Black Rifle adapter plate here on the side, which just clamps on, and then you can pop your red dot. I think it's like a universal fitting, so you can pop your red dot on top of that. And yeah, like I said, it's performed absolutely faultlessly ever since then. Now, when it comes to accuracy, I'll be the first to admit that I'm probably the world's worst pistol shooter. It's not something that technically I've really had much formal training in, and really this was a purchase, like I say, just to do some paper punching, maybe sort of some point down the line to do some sort of practical pistol shooting. But at the moment, I've just been shooting it at 20 meters down my club. But in terms of accuracy, yeah, it's been really good. I've tried various different types of ammo. A lot of the stuff that I've been running through my Smith & Wesson 1522, and not all of that has really been ideal for it. I'm currently running it with ED Contact, which are supposedly specifically, I should say, designed for semi-automatic actions. Yeah, and I've got to say it runs really nicely with them. I'm shooting at, well, the black on the targets that I'm shooting at are about 85 centimeters or 3¼ maybe inches, and yeah, I can get the majority of my rounds into that black, which for me is, yeah, more than sufficient. In terms of reliability, I say I've been shooting this gun for just over a year now. I reckon I've probably cycled about 2,000 rounds with it, and it's performed pretty much faultlessly. I did have a couple of jams on it at one point, but if I'm honest, I probably was running it slightly dirtier than I should have been, and the rounds that I was using were quite waxy on the sort of the head there, and I think the sort of feed ramp basically just got a bit gunky and a bit clogged up. But as soon as I cleaned that off again, then yeah, again it cycled absolutely perfectly. By the way, if you would like to see a video on how I strip and maintain this pistol, then please just hit me up in the comments below. And yeah, maybe that's something we can make a video about down the line. Anyway, that's about it from me and my review of the Walther PPQ long barrel pistol chambered in 22 LR. Would I buy one again? Absolutely. Would I recommend it to someone to buy perhaps as a first pistol on their FAC? 100%. It's light, it's easy to aim, easy to shoot, it cycles pretty much flawlessly, it's pretty accurate, and it's fantastic fun. So yeah, if you haven't got one already on your FAC, what are you waiting for? Get out there and buy one now. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I really hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It'll really help the channel. But until then, shoot safe, and I'll see you in the next one.